the unluckiest man in the world. Frane Selak's story may seem too surreal to be true, but it apparently is. Having escaped death 7 times, the 90-year-old retired music teacher from Croatia was dubbed either the luckiest or unluckiest man in the world. Just when he thought that life couldn't have any more surprises for him, it proved him wrong. At the age of 74, he bought a lottery ticket for the first time in 4 decades and won more than $1 million. Frane experienced his first brush with death on a winter morning in 1962. When he was boarding a high-speed train from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik, he had no idea that this journey would end in the first of his many life-threatening accidents. Everything seemed completely ordinary for the first hour, but then something inexplicable happened. The train suddenly left the tracks and plunged straight into an icy river. 17 passengers drowned, but Mr. Selak was among the lucky ones who made it out of the water alive and relatively unharmed. In a state of shock and hypothermia, and with a broken arm, he managed to swim to the shore. 1 year later, his beloved mother fell seriously ill. Selak had been avoiding air travel before, but this time he was desperate. Despite his fear of flying, he immediately bought a plane ticket from Zagreb to Rijeka. Even though the earliest possible flight was fully booked, he persuaded an airline employee to let him sit next to a flight attendant at the back of the aircraft. As he was going to find out soon, that wasn't a good decision. Moments before landing, the door of the plane opened. Both Frane and the stewardess were sucked out of the machine right before it crashed, killing nearly all the passengers and crew members. In fact, having miraculously landed in a haystack, Selak was the only person who survived. He probably thought that his streak of bad luck was finally over at that point. But he was very wrong. After 3 accident-free years, a bus he was on went off the road and fell into a river. Once again, he suffered nothing more than a few minor injuries. 4 years later, he looked death in the eye yet again, this time in his own car. The vehicle caught fire while he was driving, but he managed to get out of it just in time, right before it exploded. In 1973, the same thing happened again. His car burst into flames, this time causing him to lose most of his hair. The following 2 decades were rather uneventful, which made Frane feel safe until he encountered death twice more. He was hit by a bus in 1995 before getting into a serious car accident a year later. Yet again,
1 year
he
later,
survived his
both
beloved
of those
mother fell
potentially
seriously
deadly
ill.
events.
Selak had been
After
avoiding
the
air
last
travel
freaky
before,
brush with
but this
death,
time,
he
Frano
was
Selak
desperate.
went on to
Despite
live
his
his
fear of
life
flying,
and didn't
he
expect
immediately bought a
anything
plane
extraordinary
ticket
to
from
happen
Zagreb
to him
to
anymore.
Rijeka.
In 2003,
Even though the
however,
earliest
he
possible
decided to
flight
put his
was
luck
fully
to the
booked,
test by
he
buying
persuaded
one
an
lottery
airline
ticket.
employee to let
Shortly
him sit
after that,
next to a
he
flight
found out
attendant
that he won
at the
over
back of
$1
the
million.
aircraft.
As he was going to find out
£600,000.
soon, that wasn't a good decision.
He bought a house on a luxury island,
Moments before landing,
car,
the door of the plane
but
ultimately decided to sell it all,
and the
give most of
stewardess
his
were
fortune
sucked
away
out
to
of
his
the
family
machine
right
and
before it
friends.
crashed, killing
All I
nearly
need at
all
my
the
age is my
passengers and
wife,
crew members.
Katerina.
The money would not change
In fact,
anything.
having
He said in an
miraculously landed
interview
in a
with the
haystack,
Telegraph in
Selak was the
2010.
only person who survived.